Unclassified FBI, July 8th, 2020. Jeffrey Epstein, child sex trafficking. On 7/8/2020 at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, an anonymous tipster using Internet Protocol address, redacted, which resolves to redacted, submitted an online tip to the FBI National Threat Operations Center via tipsfbi.gov regarding information relating to Ghislaine Maxwell. Anonymous provided the following information. Submitted text. Reddit user redacted is Ghislaine Maxwell. James Elefantis, who owns Comet Pizza, recently made his Instagram private. He had a picture of a freezer room in the basement that had hashtag killing room. His accounts are redacted and redacted. Both of the accounts have disturbing pictures of children being tortured. Daisy Olarte de Canovas has helped Ghislaine Maxwell traffic children. She is a personal friend and co-conspirator. She helped her traffic kids through the Ritz-Carlton Hotel and through her New Yorkers for Kids charity front. Her Instagram is redacted. She is currently watching accounts that are posting information about the Ghislaine Maxwell case. I feel personally threatened because she and James Elefantes have been watching my personal account after just a couple news posts I made. I can't believe that. In other words, a huge enterprise of child trafficking within the reports sent. This report is in regards to the money laundering and money movement of Epstein Clinton Foundation money via Anthony Rodham using an account named Stephen Ross of Winster Equities over many years. Here's the reference number if you'd like to learn more about the Clinton crimes. I'm going to move on to the next report. 7/15/2019. On 7/11/2019, an anonymous tipster, Internet Protocol address redacted, Canada, submitted an online tip to the FBI National Threat Operations Center via tipsfbi.gov to report information regarding child trafficking by Jeffrey Epstein in Thornhill, Ontario. Previous reports have been sent since 2007 to your offices regarding a myriad of issues, including child trafficking in Thornhill, Ontario by Jeffrey Epstein. These reports over the years have been in regards to numerous individuals, namely Jorge and Carmen Barahona, presently in Florida prison for Nubia Barahona death, as well as Madeleine McCann abduction, Haley Cummings kidnapping, Kyron Horman, and others. The extensive daycare adoption ring in the Thornhill, Ontario area is still functioning as usual, and Epstein was seen here last year with his hair dyed brown. In the vicinity of the compound area mentioned in those reports, also seen was Peggy Bucky McMartin of the McMartin Preschool Satanic trafficking case. Oh, good Lord. Hello, wonderful people. I hope you're having a great day. I have been combing over Epstein files for hours. I have learned so much about the world that I live in. And these human beings that are complicit of these crimes, I feel sorry for them in a way. My heart breaks for all of their victims. Probably hundreds of thousands of victims. I mean, at least tens of thousands. This one network, say is like 30 years, Epstein, 30 years. Three orgasms a day is what the one witness said. The one survivor. I mean, that's like Sean Combs as well. We were hearing similar things. These people are pathetic. These are weak, insecure human beings. All of these people are. All of them. Every single last one of them. They are the complete opposite of glamorous. They are pathetic. These people, these are the types of people like these Erica Kirks and Nicki Minaj's and Beyonce's and Trump's administration for that matter. All of these women that are famous through politics or the news or one of the grooming industries or the entertainment industry, which has just really become propaganda complex. They are so pathetic. They are so insecure. They have to basically alter their own faces in order to feel confident about going out into the world every day. These people are so pathetic that they can't even handle being themselves. Like they don't even want to be themselves, so they have to like turn themselves into like some kind of freak show every day before leaving the house. They're so weak and pathetic. They're like the mean kids in high school that made life at times unbearable. And they just backstab one another and do horrible things to children to get ahead of each other. These are the most pathetic human beings. I mean, I didn't even know that you could be this pathetic. I mean, these are adults. We still have to pray for them. And then pray for justice, too. There's just a lot of really disgusting things going on, and there are a lot of really disgusting women involved. There were many recruiters, many women like Leslie Groff. I may have found the woman who opened bank accounts on his behalf. She's been hidden really well. And it looks like she might still be taking money out of his accounts. Somebody apparently is. But that's not new news. What have I learned besides how pathetic and weak, like, and insecure and just sad all of these people are? I've learned that it looks like some of the women who claimed to be victims were actually recruiters. They were whores. They were just straight up whores, and they recruited other girls. They were like Ghislaines. They started out as victims, but then they became the abusers. And that's profoundly disturbing. But of course, the vast majority of the women are survivors. They were victims. And they haven't gotten justice. I think some of them are still waiting to be interviewed. Can you imagine 30 years? And there are new reports coming in, and they're still being ignored. So we know it's still happening. It's happening right now. You know, Bill Clinton could be out raping a girl right now, murdering them too. I do believe that they've murdered babies and children, no doubt. The way that they talk about, I mean, there's definitely a supremacy. There's definitely a supremacy. There's no value to us if you're outside of this like really sad world that they live in. If you're outside of that, you basically have no value whatsoever. I mean, they just go around the world grabbing girls. They often use the modeling as the excuse. So I'm telling you, the modeling industry is straight up started out for grooming. There's no way that that industry is ever legit. I mean, the clothes are a joke too, even, you know? These people are trafficking. I mean, look at who he hung out with. Yeah. This website, these models from Ukraine, they look like they're like 14, 15, 16 years old. They all have that like drug look, you know, like that. That's supposed to be sexy. Drugging a girl is sexy. Yeah, that's hot. Oh, yeah, that kid looks hot, all drugged up. The psychological damage that Trump and Epstein and, you know, all these individuals, Bill Gates, BG, when you listen to the testimony of the victims, the reports, a lot of these girls, it's a miracle that they're still alive. It makes me mad. I try not to get emotional about it. The righteous anger, though, like, you cannot help it sometimes, you know? It's not coming from me. All of these pathetic human beings like Pam Bondi and Kash Patel and Lady Victoria. Schneider. She's pretty well hated. She does a PR, right? Who's this Du Bois? I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his name right. This old man down in Florida who's been getting rich off of rape. Schiller and Flexner, rhymes with Wexner. There's a young girl who was raped multiple times, different people. She lives in Ohio and went to the local law enforcement and they ignored her. I imagine they're paid off by Wexner. Maybe they're even Freemasons and trafficking children too. Who knows? Anything's possible. I'm going to attach some of the more shocking discoveries from the latest Epstein files. And the images are really, really hard to go through because a lot of them you can't even see. They're just these tiny little blurry photos that look like they were taken from a disposable camera. And so much is redacted. I don't know. Anyway, I put together a little bit and just know it's not that bad. There's nothing like really horrible. Epstein refers to himself as Lucifer a few times in the emails, by the way, or his chats with Steve Bannon. These people are they're just so pathetic. Anyway, yeah, don't worry, there's nothing super bad in there. And yeah, I didn't curse either, so there's no like foul language, but you might read a curse word. That's as bad as it gets. From Jeffrey to Jabber Y. June 30th, 2017. I think further engagement across agencies inside the United States will give a better insight for the President on the nature of the relationship between the United States and Qatar. I would suggest not to try to tell the President he is wrong and that his state people know more than he. That is very counterproductive. You will make it impossible for him to change his mind and to take further steps to prove to the world that he is right. The U.S. has always been a friend and will do what it takes to maintain that friendship. Much better. We are willing to spend the time necessary to make things right, etc., etc. Tillerson has no power. Israel does. Ivanka does. Business interests do. Yeah, I would say that's true, huh? I hear Kelly trying to make Trump understand that Jared and Ivanka have to go. That was back in 2017. MW and Epstein. Hi, Epstein asks. News? 1. Talked to B some more, all fine. 2. Contract signed, waiting on Larry to co-sign. 3. Sent you email on plant and maybe way forward there. 4. Have to decide soon on a few other things, but won't bug you. Plant. Tomorrow, are you meeting him? Replied Jeffrey. Probably not. Been in touch a bunch. Okay. Lots going on for him as his first week back after 4 weeks. Melinda here too, Roger Federer. He gave me 4-minute slot over 3 days and we just decided it was too hard. 4 15-minute slots. Are you in New York City Sunday? Epstein replies, Tuesday. Okay, should have more news then. Lots from BG. Of course, BG is Bill Gates. There's a link to a White House just outlined its tax plan. Is the tax plan not going to affect overseas charitable giving? It's one way to repatriate $7 billion for Americans. By the way, anything for Ed Boyden? Epstein replied, he will play. When can we start? The BGC3 work is not very challenging, as you know, and I think they could be related. Gates Ventures is the personal service company of Microsoft co-founder and philanthropist Bill Gates, known until 2008 as BGC3. Talk next week. Epstein replies, you should go see him when you are next in Boston. I will make trip whenever he's ready next week. Just sent you email. Check it out. Nancy Drew over here. Do you know Ivanka and Dina Powell? Epstein replies, not well. Okay, more when we speak. Suspicious message, external email, forward, external, Epstein, Marshall, Mathers, and Marilyn Manson. Wednesday, January 15th, 2025. Hi, redacted. It's been a while since I've received a civilian report regarding Jeffrey Epstein Maxwell, but the below appears to fall into the category that we forward to you, consistent with our case team's practice, passing along per that practice. Thanks, and hope you're doing well. Assistant United States Attorney, Southern District of New York. From redacted, sent January 15th, 2025. To redacted, subject, Epstein, Marshall, Mathers, and Marilyn Manson. Hello, I'm not sure who to contact. When I Google Ghislaine Maxwell's prosecutor, you popped up. I'm not sure anyone would even still be interested in knowing. I worked at a country club in Mogadore, Ohio. Wonder if that's near Les Wexner's home. I worked there from 2002 till 2004. It was called West's Mogadore Country Club. It was golf course, bar, and bowling alley. I cleaned and cooked. I don't know the exact dates. I remember Epstein coming in along with Ghislaine and others. I believe they were first. Marshall Mathers wasn't there with Epstein, at least not that I saw. I wasn't normally allowed in the bar. I knew they moved a bed into the banquet space. My memories of seeing it there are hazy, like I was drugged or under hypnosis. The night Marshall came in, there was another guy. I don't know the man's name. He and my boss came into the kitchen. My boss, Eric West, took over cooking because the man wanted to talk to me. He tried to persuade me to let him introduce me to a man. I kept refusing. Eventually, they threatened me. I was told to pour Marshall a drink and flirt with me. I realize now he kept insisting I should be me because I was the only girl under 18 in the establishment. After pouring Marshall the drink, I left the bar. I asked if I could go home now. Instead, they held my face and forced me to take something. I know there was a woman who shaved my privates, but my only memory after that is of being in a different part of the country club, telling the man Marshall didn't have sex with me. I honestly don't know if he did. I believe the man later came back. I don't remember much of it other than I was naked in the bathroom on the wicker chaise lounge with black man behind me holding a knife to my throat. They told me I was going to end up in a dumpster. Most of my memories feel unreal. I'm hoping by telling someone I can find a sense of realness and healing. They've started playing over and over in my head. All of the memories I have of Marilyn Manson feel like a dream or hypnosis, except the ones at my aunt's house. I'm not sure how my dad's cousins knew him. He visited at least twice while I was young. The first, I was around 10 or 11 years old. I had started developing breasts. I was self-conscious of them. They were growing to different sizes. I often covered them with my arms. My dad allowed him to trace them onto a white t-shirt. The second time he visited, I was around 13. There was a bunch of men with him this time. He told the room full of men something that upset my dad. He pulled me out of the house and said I'd never see Brian again. We called him Brian, not Marilyn. After that, my memories all feel like I was either drugged around him or under some kind of hypnosis. I also have memories of being around P. Diddy, but I can't place how or why he would have been in my home. I was pregnant with my daughter in 2010. She was born in March 2011. I lived in a trailer located close to Akron, Ohio. I remember someone who I think is Diddy taking a video with a phone. I've always been a bigger girl. Goes in to talk about her personal attributes. We don't really need to know more, I don't think. My dad passed in 2020. I don't talk to his cousins. When I tried to talk to my dad prior to his death, he'd refuse to talk. I was raped one other time in 2005. I was with my boyfriend at the time. He allowed his drug dealer to rape me. I've tried to contact local police about that. My boyfriend passed away, and there are no records. Thank you for reading this. I don't know if any of it would be of any help, you or anyone else. Again, I'm not even sure who I should be talking to. I have no evidence of any of it. I have no one to talk to me about it. My memories are still becoming increasingly overwhelming. They keep me awake at night. I feel like if I try to verbally tell anyone any of this, they will just tell me I'm insane. I really hope you don't just write me off as being a nutcase. I'd love to be able to just live a normal life where I don't have to fight the urge to hide and cry every day. Thank you again. Redacted. And we know those prosecutors, Maureen Comey, they were a joke. They were a joke. It sounds like the law enforcement near where Wexler lives is a joke too. Ryan Dawson, David Boyce, Sigrid McCauley, James Marsh, Freeman, Jennifer Freeman, Dawn Schneider, Colette Brannon, Jennifer Plotkin, Candace, Emily Steele. Everyone thought it was a game is the subject, and this is April 26, 2025. Horrible news, kind of saw it coming. This email is to honor a true hero, a woman I would have given anything to hug. I would have given anything to have a daughter like her. She was a woman who inspired my art over 7 years, a beautiful mother, a hero to me. This is the saddest my heart has ever felt. Pod mobsters made her suffer endlessly. I hope everyone is deeply ashamed. Whitney Webb was a nightmare for us all the last few years. All because I picked up my phone to a cold call the day following brain radiation surgery. Katie thought it was funny, clever to force those faces in our faces as I begged for mercy. All of you are not worth my breath. I tried to protect my hero and you laughed at me. Be ashamed, Kim, Katie, and all podcast mob. Candace, stop abusing victims. All of you stop it with your BS conspiracies. Because you were never there. You harmed my hero, you effers. She is dead. Are you happy? Sigrid and David used her until she was worn out, and they never told her how much we love her. Instead, they kept using her for personal gain. Brad started the usury of redacted. He dragged her through mud for personal gain, just as he dragged me. And she said Brad really outgrew his britches. You better not make an opportunistic statement. Bedwords, you perverted nasty AF user who slept with your law partner while you trafficked redacted to your only male law partner. Okay. What's going on at that law firm, huh? Law firm that has represented people like Elizabeth Holmes. Remember her? That psychopath in the black turtleneck? Yep, he represented her. Angela, the FBI agent, just erased my report this week, and now I hope she is thrilled with herself. Your goal at FBI is to drive everyone to suicide, isn't it? I suspect that is the goal of Whitney Webb and all pod mafia as well. They have been ruthless and will never be forgiven by a victim alive. Seriously, I detest the very sight of all of you. I told you this wasn't a game, Kim. You irrelevant creatures took ownership of our suffering and erased us. You treated our case like it's a game. What will it take to make liars, FBI, and podcast mob behave? What will it take? In honor of Redacted, I won't tell you how much I hate everyone who used her. I lived in fear 24/7 she would be harmed. Instead of sharing my hatred of your actions, I'm insisting everyone do right by my hero and honor her name. Stop honoring bad journalists, conspiracy peddlers who used our suffering for years as we watched, endured, vomited. I blame myself for picking up the phone. I blame Brad, David, Sigrid
for killing my hero via usury. Not one of you will be forgiven by my sister and I. Not one of you. So do your damn jobs and beg the world to see how brave this angel was. Honor her. For the love of God, honor my hero.
Individual report plus associates, Lynn Forrester, a.k.a. Lynn de Rothschild. Business affiliation, L. Rothschild, LLC. Lynn de Rothschild, total amount contributed, $4,950 to Anthony Weiner for mayor. From M.E. to Jeffrey Epstein, subject, hey, Anthony Weiner should have used your attorneys.